it's very important to get the audience into the hall, which becomes more and more difficult, as we know. Because people listen to music, but they listen in the car, they listen on their iPhones, iPads, whatever, you know, they listen at home while they do something else, you know, so they make this effort, which is a big thing, and a lot of efforts and studies and, you know, go into this point just to get you to, so you buy the tickets and you're there.
The trick now is breaking through all the clutter, and so that's kind of the trick of the marketing side of things and the PR side of things, is how do you break through so much going on TV and so much on the internet, where you're lambasted all day long with emails and Facebook and Twitter and all this quick information. It's hard to really see something like classical music or visual art or something that requires attention for long periods of time to appreciate. It's hard to break through and indicate how important that is and help people to see that.
Typically we will try to market to a specific audience. So if it's for a classical concert, I'm going to make sure that we're on classical radio stations and NPR. If we're marketing to a pops concert, I'm going to make sure that we're marketing to pop stations, to television, or places where people are going to be reading this information, listening to it, watching it.
So you got them into the seats, and then they hear something they could hear just as well or better on, you know, on the recordings of the best orchestras in the world. So what's the point? You know, the point is that live music better be something so special that they will forget about it. They will listen to their recordings when they get to remind of certain pieces, but they would want that chemistry, they would want that magic, and that is the most important.
I'm president and CEO of the Greensboro Symphony, and that would mean that I am responsible, basically I'm responsible for everything, so the buck stops with me. And that would include everything from hiring staff, negotiating the contracts with our musicians, negotiating contracts with our guest artists, working with the board, making sure we have enough money to pay for everybody, making sure that we comply with all the employment laws, making sure that our budget is balanced, pretty much everything.
My work, most of the preparation work, been done weeks, if not months before. If I need to study my program now, it's too late. It's too late. You have to do it before. You have to do it before, knowing that once I'm here, I'm 24 hours available. 24/7 I'm available for this organization, whatever might come up. Like this interview just came up yesterday, so I had to adjust my schedule. That's perfectly normal. Something else will come up between now and Sunday, and also I have to see people, members of the board. You know, socially, I need to talk to them. We need to make decisions. We need to find out, you know, the whole situation with the art center, when and how, the acoustical system, the design, all of that. I think music director has to have that kind of life. I like the fact that I could come in and pack things in 1 week and make a lot of progress rather than just do it steadily, because, you know, I have a parallel life as a performing violinist and also a guest conductor elsewhere in the world. I mean, there's a lot of things that has nothing to do with Greensboro in a way, but they're all going on, you know, in emails and telephone conversations and Skype sessions and so forth. That's my sort of life when I'm not here, but it doesn't stop when I'm here. So all of that makes a very intense but very interesting. My life is never boring.
I basically am responsible for making sure that the Greensboro Symphony, for one, that people know that we're here, and that people are seeing when we have our concerts, that we're out there in the community. Also, as far as sales are concerned, making sure that, like my boss likes to say, that we are making sure that the house is full. we need to make sure that every house is full for every concert.
Development is all about storytelling. It is being able to communicate your mission, your values to a donor, helping them understand what your role is, and then helping them understand the value of what you're trying to do, and hopefully eventually communicate to them a way that they feel like they can participate in that, whether it's by volunteering with the organization, whether it's by sponsoring a concert, or whether it's providing a $100 donation, or just attending, via subscription or even a single ticket. So, I mean, development in that sense is really just being able to tell an effective story.
They should come out, try to intern with the arts organization, go in and interview folks, do something similar to what you're doing also, but go in and interview whether it be the director, whether it be the marketing director, and talk to those folks and see if this is something that you really want to get into.
So the best thing you can do is try and get yourself out there. That's inadvertently how I ended up in this position, was just sort of, I ended up talking to the right people and being in the right place at the right time. I think that happens to quite a few individuals, especially in the nonprofit world.
I would say when I am hiring people, the most two recent people that I've hired have their masters, and that probably stood out from everybody else, because for me it indicates that they're really serious, and they've taken that extra step to really look at their career and want to go further. So I would advise people, if they can afford it, to get their masters.
The beauty and curse of the small shop nonprofit is that your position is much larger than just your specific title. You end up doing, the great thing is I get some experience in marketing and some experience in the artistic side of things, and that's exciting for me because I like sort of playing around in different areas. But for some people that would be unattractive because your job set is constantly expanding. And you might be, you might spend your day schlepping materials over to, a performance site, or, over to a fundraiser to set up for an event unexpectedly when you have other things to accomplish. So it is grueling work, long hours. You're not going to be making what you would be making if you're a doctor or a lawyer, for sure. So you have to know all those things going in, but it is incredibly rewarding work as well, which I think anyone who's invested in the performance world and in the arts in general would agree.
It's not always glamour. What you see on stage is beautiful, and people are really thrilled with the final performance, but everything that goes backstage, and I think that doing your research, and finding out, what we do to make everything happen, from whether it be the marketing, development, box office, when it comes all together and you have that one big final show.